Okay, good morning, people. We are currently in the village of Breachley in Lincolnshire, and we're here because I looked at it on a map and I thought, I've never heard of that place. I've never been to that place, so I'm going to go to that place and have a drive through it. And it seems to be quite nice. We've got the roof down, it's 19 degrees outside, so it's not balmy hot, but it's not cold either. And we're going to have a little drive. Don't know what I'm going to waffle about. Haven't decided yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something. I find it very hard to keep quiet, let's put it that way. So we are in the Lincolnshire countryside, and a lot of people say, oh, Lincolnshire's boring and flat and not very pretty. Wrong. Completely wrong. It's not flat, number one. It has hills and high areas and low areas and fenlands and some amazing countryside and wildlife. It's also the second biggest county in the land, smallest only to Yorkshire. So there's a lot to see and do. And it's not boring. Not by what 118. Not by a long way. You think about the amount of towns. Oh, we're in Waffle already. Another one of my favourite places. I mean, there's Lincoln's in Lincolnshire. It's a beautiful city with loads to see and do. The cathedral is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, yeah, people that say Lincolnshire's boring, talking out their ass. So we are now in Waffle, which is another nice village, just outside Grimsby. A lovely place to come and live, if you can. And, yeah, I've got a couple of friends live here. It's quite a cute place. So we're going to drive through Waffle. I don't know which route I'm going to go yet. I haven't made my mind up. I'll just point the car and go. Seems like a reasonable idea. We'll just see where we end up. I looked at the news headlines this morning and I thought, well, not a lot to talk about really. There's only one hot news topic at the minute, and that's the migration issue, immigration. And I mean, a 118 one way, the Tour de France humour. That's a hot topic. Well, I don't know what your views are, but I've got mine. I am all for people fleeing persecution, warfare, discrimination. Absolutely. I don't mind them coming to this country if they bring something to the table, if they can contribute to society in some way by the work or teaching, like a trade, like dentist, doctor, joiner, plumber, whatever. If you can bring something to the table and earn a living and contribute to society, fabulous. I'm all for that, not a problem. But if you want to come here and just sponge off the system or be a health tourist, then nah, you shouldn't be allowed in. And every time I see a small boat crossing on the news, there's no women and children. It's all young men. It's all young, fit men. And it's like we're being slowly invaded by an army of people who have not got our interest at heart at all. All they want to do is exploit the country, exploit the system, quite frankly, take the piss and score with our women as well. And it's just not on. And it winds me up. I didn't vote Labour. I wouldn't, not with him in charge. When he took over the Labour Party, I turned around to my dad, God rest his soul, and I said, there's something about that bloke isn't right. Don't trust him at all. He's never going to get my vote. No matter what the politicians are, no matter what he says, no matter what he promises in his constitution, which he completely didn't stick to, and you turned on everything that he promised, and he did. There's no denying that. I would never vote for him. No way. So I won't say how I voted, but it certainly wasn't Labour, and it certainly wasn't the Tories. That's Rolls Royce. I'm Bentley. So yeah, Keir Starmer, I think, is the worst, in my opinion, is the worst Prime Minister we've had for a long time. And you imagine nowadays, with what's going on with the immigration kerfuffle, if Winston Churchill was in charge, what would he do? You know, he certainly wouldn't act the same way Keir Starmer has. And as for Jeremy bloody Corbyn and forming a new party, they're going to be so far left, and they are going to be so far left, that they'll be like welcoming them in with open arms. Yeah, come to our country, exploit the system because we're liberal softies. We haven't got the money. We need to be looking after our own first. It's criminal that there are servicemen, homeless, living on the streets, people that have fought and defended our country and our way of life and our liberties are sleeping rough. Yet people from Somalia and North Africa or wherever can come over on a boat and get put in a hotel. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's a joke. And how it's been allowed to escalate to this level is criminal. It's absolutely bloody criminal. And it really gets my back up. So, if you bring something to the table, if you have a skill, you can contribute to society, all for it. Absolutely all for it. Bring it on. If you're coming to take the piss, yeah. That's my view on it anyway. And you know, kids, what message are we sending to our kids when, you know, a little girl got sent home from school for wearing a Union Jack dress? For wearing a Union Jack dress, she got sent home from school. There was a man in the news recently who had an England flag in his garden. Has been told by the authorities that he has to take it down. He cannot fly the flag of his nation in his garden, in the house that he bought with his money. It's absolutely disgusting. It really is just like crime of the century to, you know, make these people who work, pay the way, pay the taxes, don't break the law, to make them not have their own civil liberties. That baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. You know, why can't we have somebody in charge that's got the balls and the gumption to go, right, enough is enough. Things have to change because the way things are at the minute is just unsustainable. You know, 25,000 people came across this week on boats. 25,000. That's a decent-sized football stadium or medium-sized football stadium every week entering our country, and it's been going on for years. That is not sustainable. At some point, someone's going to give, and there's going to be mass riots, or a civil war. But it's going to get messy. It really is going to get messy unless someone takes charge. And I really wish, really wish that it was a different political party in number 10 at the minute. Because currently, yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I don't know. What happened to England? Yeah. So we're in Grimsby now, as you probably gathered, if you know the area. If you don't, hello, welcome. This is Grimsby. Like most towns, it's got its nice areas and it's got its bad areas. But its bad areas are pretty bad. I would never live here. I don't hate the place, I just would never live here. I wouldn't choose to live here. But people do, fair play to them. It's not for me. Absolutely not. Oh, the sun's making an appearance. Bonjour, Sonia. Ça va? Well, we'll go past the Bradley pub. Overtake this bus. Still in the 30-mile-an-hour zone, so we have to be careful. And this is Laceby bypass. I used to live in Laceby years ago. It's quite a nice place. It's quite a nice village. In fact, we're going to drive through it. Let's drive through it. Let's drive through Laceby. Just for jollies. And then we'll go through the... Yeah, we'll go through the village. And have a quick look at Laceby because it is quite cute. And then we'll head out on the road back to Birmingham. We'll call it a day. It's the rain stayed off, which is nice. Is that Cramps? I've got a mate with a white Z4. I was just wondering if it's him. No, it's Lady. And my mate Cramps would not appreciate being called a lady. Trio of tractors. Busy time of year for Farmer Brown, isn't it? Ah, some units they are, bloody hell. So we're approaching Laceby. Past the speed camera, and we are doing the speed limit, of course, which we always do. I do put my foot down from time to time, but I don't break the law. That'd be silly. Oh bumpy roads. Oh, really bumpy. Whoa, bloody hell. Bumpy Central. You're going to have to pull over because I'm not. Thank you. I was slinging right here. And then left here past the church. And we are on Butt Lane. Don't snigger. We're all adults here. And Butt Lane is where Cloverdale Care Home is, which is where my dad spent the last weeks of his life, bless him. And they were absolutely marvellous with him. The level of care he got was unbelievable. All of the staff there were just wonderful with me dad. Absolutely. Here it is on the right hand side, over there. All the staff there were magnificent. The level of care and patience they showed towards my dad was really humbling and heartwarming, because my dad had dementia and his behaviour was not the best, let's put it that way. And he could be quite demanding. And they were just unbelievably good with him. Unbelievably good. We've got nothing but praise for them. If you're a carer, then you're an angel and you have my respect, because I couldn't do it. I know I couldn't do it. I find it too upsetting and too demanding, if I'm honest. So yeah, that was Laceby, and we're now entering Aylesby, and there's some right nice houses in Aylesby. In fact, there's three that all are about 20, 30 years old. These houses on the right here, you won't be able to see them, but you can just in the corner of the camera. They're huge, and I call them surgeon houses, because you'd have to have the wage of a surgeon to be able to afford to buy one, or a solicitor. But I call them the surgeon houses, because that's just me. Aylesby, what time is it? Hey, we'll get to Birmingham just in time for the shops opening at 10 o'clock. That's a good timing, really. So I think that's quite a nice drive from that village in Bridgeley through to here. It's quite picturesque. Lots of twisty, curvy drivers' roads. Large vehicles turning. Quick vehicles turning as well. Now this crossing here can be a bit tricky, because it's a dual carriageway, so people are doing like 70 miles an hour, and you've got traffic coming in both directions, usually, but today there isn't any. That theory out the window. back down to 60. 6-foot lane. And we're approaching Raby Crossroads, which is a very dangerous crossroad, and there's been countless accidents here. People not concentrating and not paying attention. But as it's Sunday, the roads are really quiet. So we can have some fun round the bends. This is a really sharp bend, so you've got to be careful here. Brake in, accelerate out, get on the gas, and then you do exactly the same down this end in a different direction. Brake into the corner, turn and accelerate out. Now at the bottom of this road, there's a really nasty pothole. And if you don't know it was there, give you a right jolt. But I know it's there. So. I go around it thus. There you go. Avoided. Look at it. Look at accelerating now, mate. We'll go slow down for you in a minute. Now this pub on the right hand side used to be called the Little London Pub. And apparently it's being renovated, but they've been saying that for ages and there doesn't seem to be much happening. But there is a farm shop that sounds like really nice fresh produce, which is pretty good. But the pub just seems to have stood still. But back in the 80s, it was a really popular venue. It was always full on a weekend and a good night out as well. It used to be run by a guy called Watty Leonard. I don't know why people called him Watty, but they did. I used to go there with my dad on a Friday night, and my dad would always end up singing. He'd get on the microphone and blast a few tunes out. He had a decent voice, my dad, he could actually sing. He won't karaoke, that was before that pastime became popular. I'm not a fan of karaoke, by the way. He just used to get up and sing. And always went down quite well because he had a nice voice. Myself, on the other hand, couldn't carry a tune or a yard. I have a terrible singing voice, and I'm not very musical at all. Well, I've got a piano in my house, but I don't know how to play it. But I got it for nothing. Um, Funny story. I went in a chippy. I've got a local chippy in Immingham, and I went in a chippy, and there's an upright piano in there, and it had a sign on it that said free. And I said to the guy that owns the chippy, "Are you seriously? You're giving that away?" And he went, "Yeah." He went, "It was in the flat upstairs, and I don't want it. It's just taking a room." He said, "So I want rid of it." I went, "Right, I'll have it." Don't know how to play one. Still don't. I've had it about a year, and I just always wanted a piano in my house. I think they're a cool thing to have, and if somebody does come around and can play, it'll be a free entertainment in your own cafe. You know what I mean? So anyway, I had a word with a mate of mine from Grimsby to see if he knew anybody who could shift it for me, because I don't know if you know, but upright pianos weigh small. And he did. He got these a mate and three of his mates, and four of them, these four lads. They picked it up for me, brought it to my house, and I paid them 90 quid for doing it. And I had CCTV installed in my house. And one of the guys, there were two guys, and one of them used to be a music teacher, and he could play the piano. So he did like a 5-minute blast on the piano, and it was pretty cool actually, because it was in tune. It's really well in tune. So I did have some page to have it retuned, and he did the theme tunes for The Simpsons, and then he played the theme tunes for Family Guy, which is quite funny, quite amusing. But yeah, he could play. It's cool. So yeah, I got a piano for, when it wasn't nothing, it was 95 quid to have it moved. But I think for an upright piano, you can't argue with that price. Anyway, we're in Immingham now. Sorry, I'm breaking my teeth in for next door's dog. We're in Immingham now, and I'm going to go do a bit of shopping, so I'm going to leave it there. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you can. It'd really help a lot. Be good to each other, be nice to each other, and I'll see you on the next drive. Cheers.